Yes,
Bogdanov, he did it.
il bought,
He went all in.
dump it. Oh! Oh!
You heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero. When it comes out, zero.
Just hodl, bro.
First week of May, another slow week in crypto. Staying busy, trying to find those low-priced altcoins. There's a lot of them out there now, isn't there, at the moment?
Oh, I mean, everything kind of took a shit. Let's be real. If we're looking at traditional markets, we're down 3% basically everywhere. Bitcoin and ETH holding up pretty well, but lots of altcoins shit the bed this week. Lot of bloody markets.
How's the crypto market comparing to the stock market at the moment?
Fascinatingly, Bitcoin and ETH are holding up better. ETH and Bitcoin are at 3.27% and 2.48% down, and those are both beating the S&P and the Nasdaq. So, yeah, they beat the S&P and the Nasdaq on the week. So, you know, if you hold either of those versus, you know, traditional, so much for being volatile.
So, are the market still correlated? Do you think? And is that a case for the bears to say, well, there's more downside potential? Or
the correlation is still there, like if you just do the math, but the basis like ratio isn't as high. So instead of going down, you know, 15% last week, we only went down the same amount, which is actually less. But it used to be way worse. If dropped 15, if 5, we'd drop 20. You know,
it did,
so
actually, it's a good point now, actually, Keegan.
Yeah, and so this is a huge improvement that like this is holding up strong versus traditional kind of a shitty week. Yeah, so moving on, regardless of the kind of lackluster all around price action, we've had more Bitcoin and ETH being withdrawn off exchanges. I'm beating a dead horse here, but I will continue to do so until we stop making lower lows. People are literally just
keep buying the dip all the way down.
Literally just buying and withdrawing every week. They don't give a fuck. So yeah, just don't even look at the price right now if you're being worried. Just realize people are actually not giving a shit and they're buying the hell out of it. And
fundamentally, it's never been in a stronger place, has it?
Yeah, no, I've never seen the price be like this while we've just had straight up withdraws week after week after week.
It will surprise people, won't it? Because time and time again, the price has just shot up out of nowhere, and everyone's like, whoa, what happened? It's been happening the entire time. It's happening right now. But no one can see it because they're too focused on the price.
They're too focused on the price, but we'll just have to see. I'm excited, honestly.
Love it.
I think we're approaching a pretty cool part here. Anyways, moving on. Goldman Sachs is going to have their first Bitcoin-backed loan in the coming months. So if you're curious who the hell is buying all this Bitcoin, probably people that know about this, because if Goldman Sachs offers Bitcoin loans, that's pretty massive. They give a lot of service to a very large amount of money, trillions of dollars. Yeah. So if they're offering Bitcoin-backed loans, that is a massive, basically, check towards legitimacy, I would say. You're not gonna give a loan for something that has, you know, no legitimacy. That would be dumb. And so this is basically Goldman Sachs giving the massive thumbs up, in my opinion.
Was it Goldman Sachs or was it someone else, guys, who changed their front page to digital currencies? Someone else, wasn't it?
That was Goldman Sachs, yeah.
JP Morgan, I think it was.
I'm
not sure. Either
BlackRock
JP
did
or
a thing
Goldman
too.
Sachs.
Just checking quickly.
And the loan, is it going to be a Bitcoin loan or is it going to be backed by Bitcoin so that you kind of like have Bitcoin as a margin to get the loan?
That the second option, yes. It'll actually be a Bitcoin-backed loan.
So either way, it would take Bitcoins out of circulation, which is bullish.
Yes.
Yeah.
There will have to be real Bitcoin being bought for this.
So it's real Bitcoin being bought. So the supply of Bitcoin will be affected by this as well. Interesting.
Yeah. Goldman Sachs will be using their own personal stores for this. So
bullish.
more if there's increased demand. So we'll just have to see. But yeah, overall bullish. In totally unrelated news, but super exciting, the Optimism protocol has released their airdrop. No longer a rumor. You can see if you're eligible. We're going to include all the links in the show notes. But it really exciting here because, you know, if you used Optimism, if you were priced out of Ethereum, basically if you used it at all, used the bridge, made swaps, did lending, added liquidity,
Fucking hell,
anything,
man.
you'll be eligible to claim this airdrop. You cannot claim yet, by the way. So if anyone's saying you can, they're bullshitting you. You can check if you're eligible, but you cannot claim. So just be safe and wait for like the official Optimism.
Okay, yeah, because there'll be loads of scams, won't there, right now, saying that you can
Don't
claim.
connect.
So just,
don't connect your wallet to any shit you don't know about.
that's massive. That's massive. 100%. Just be careful with that because if it's not eligible yet, but there is one that is eligible right now.
People get excited about this kind of shit. It's you know, that people get a lot of, you know, free money. It's pretty exciting. But stay rational and don't connect to random shit.
100%. On a note of free money, there's Evmos airdrop, isn't there? Evmos are giving an airdrop away. I thought I'd mention that quickly whilst you were on that subject of free money. And if you for MetaMask users only, if you've interacted with any Ethereum protocols or applications, or just traded on Uniswap using MetaMask, then you're probably got $300-400 of Evmos. Yeah. Once again, I'll leave the link in this in the description of how you can claim them.
Yeah, and that's another super easy one. Yeah, so free money if you've used Uniswap in the past. So in totally different news, NFT news, the Ape Other Side land sale launched in complete ape fashion. We saw buyers shoot the way price to 6,216 way.
Wow.
Just to sorry, I'm laughing like that. It's so ridiculous. I can't even fathom.
People paid it as well. People paid the gas fees. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, like literally, the mint fee for these was 1.5 ETH, and so I mean it was just disgusting. I mean
some of these plots went like for actual land prices, like 300k, 350k USD, like fucking insane, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely
NFTs
nutty.
are blowing up, aren't they, at the moment? NFTs are blowing up. Are they still at record highs, volume-wise?
For volume,
surpassed it yet? Have they surpassed it at all, or?
I think they made record volume for April. Yeah. Unfortunately, they also didn't optimize their contract, and they burned a shit ton of ETH. So I kind of feel bad for anyone that tried to mint and failed because they burned a lot of fucking ETH. It was so bad. Like 55,000 ETH burned 2 nights ago, and it's an all-time record.
Wow.
It happened in like 12 hours.
Due to that, yeah.
Yeah, just due to that. Yeah, ruining the entire chain because they had an unoptimized contract.
Crazy. Unbelievable.
Yeah. In slightly related news, the Ethereum naming service has also made absolute record volume. Speaking of NFTs, they've had 5 days straight of all-time high volume and registrations, and have now hit over 1 million names registered on the Ethereum naming service. There's quite a lot of hype going around this because this dude named Croissant made a thread about L2s and Coinbase and ENS all coming together to make pretty cool technological stuff. So if you want to read more, we'll add links. But a lot of hype going around this kind of out of nowhere, and it's kind of fun to watch because it's one of the original NFTs on ETH. So yeah, just really fun to watch.
I didn't know that. I'm going to read about that actually because that's quite interesting.
Yeah, one of the first NFT protocols ever invented was invented pre-pumps.
So when was that actually implemented then? Was that back in like
2017 April?
2017. Was that when the NFTs first came out? Or
essentially, yeah. So like punks, for example, the original punks were May 2017, and so ENS was April 2017.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So it's been 5 years for each of them.
On the ball there, aren't you? On the ball. You're on the ball there. I love it.
I enjoy it. Okay, so for our last big world news, Fidelity is offering Bitcoin as a 401k option this year. which is fucking huge. They
Yeah,
have
that's huge
$2.7
news, man.
trillion under management, and 20.4 million people use their 401k.
Right, yeah. Just to give people an idea what 401k is, that is where people can use a percentage of their salary to invest in just
Yeah.
so people understand what a 401k is. They can use a percentage of their salary to invest. Yeah.
And so this would just be automatic through Fidelity, like up to 20%. You can just throw straight into Bitcoin in your 401k, which is absolutely nuts.
And that might be something that's more popular now, isn't it? It's more common. People using this type of investment, so they don't even realize that the money's gone, do they? Essentially, in some respects, because they're still getting there. They aren't.
Well, because I mean,
easy to manage, isn't it, for them?
That's just your long-term stuff. You know, you may as well throw it in something that's, you know, not going to inflate out the ass.
Yeah, I think people are investing more now in crypto. In the UK last year, people invested more in crypto than stocks. It literally was a fact. So people are now investing. It is impressive, that, isn't it?
That's kind of cool, actually. Wow, good for you guys.
And after spending 3 years trying to ban it, now they're claiming to be the center of.
Classic.
They spent 15 million trying to advise people away from crypto last year, but this year they're now the center of the technological hub for cryptocurrencies. I'm just like, typical fashion.
Typical. How dare
they? They probably found a nice way to tax the shit out of you, so now they're just making it legal.
I'm waiting for them to follow suit with Europe in taxing every single transaction over $1,000.
Over $1,000, yeah, that would be.
I'm just waiting for that. I'm waiting for that. By the way, guys, when's that going to come into play? Just so people have got some sort of understanding. Because
I think it's going to take years. Because like
it might take
infrastructure for that is going to be insane, man.
Yeah. I thought.
How do you track that?
Yeah. So anyone watching who's worried about this Europe starting this whole.
Don't be too concerned about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Short term, yeah.
We could see another cycle come and go until that takes place.
Great. Good stuff. Get your money out now, then. Actually, no, don't get your money out. Actually, no, don't.
Sell the dip, and back to wage cutting.
That wasn't financial advice.
Buy the top, sell the dip. The normal.
Back to your 9 to 5.
Love it, guys.
Okay, all right. Sorry, just laughing at you guys. Okay, let's move on. We have our TGH picks news for the week. The Goons of Balatron IDO was delayed. They don't have an exact date yet. They just wanted to make sure everything was perfect. And they also didn't want to launch in the middle of the market taking a shit. So. Their OpenSea collection is still live though, and volume has been flying. So there's obviously still a lot of hype around it. But we'll just have to wait probably just a week or two until the actual IDO. So
I think them delaying it used to be a bit of a FUD thing, but I think now people commend projects for delaying it during a bad market because even investors are like, don't launch yet, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't want you to launch in the middle of everyone hating at the world.
So just want to, reiterate that that's actually a normal thing now. Like we're seeing it every day, aren't we? Projects literally, no, we're not launching yet. So it's not like as if it's a, anything wrong. It's just, it's just them trying to launch.
Trying to make everything's perfect
in a better market. It's better for the project.
I agree.
Successful launch is so important, isn't it? Because it's almost like you get that initiative, don't you? And
it's the first impression. It's like a first impression, but for like a project. Like 100%. If your launch looks like shit and I go and look at the chart, I'm gonna be like, well, that didn't go well at the start.
Yeah.
You know.
Love it.
So anyways, moving forward in the XDB ecosystem, digital bits, David Beckham recently filed for both NFT and metaverse related trademarks. Kind of big. I didn't really expect Beckham to dive even deeper into crypto, but he seems to think that these are big. He's going to share a lot of his stories through NFTs, I think.
Yeah,
is what I'm playing it.
It's really interesting that actually, Keegan, and what it means it means that David Beckham is going to be doing a lot of brand work within crypto, bringing a lot of NFT collections, but they will all go through XDB. XDB will act as the hub, and nobody really knows this. It's not been talked about, And if you look at XDB right now, it's right on that support level, that historic support level. So I think it really is not financial advice, but good time to
NFA
actually
boys,
say again.
not financial advice.
Not financial advice, but honestly, it's huge. But a lot of people are saying David Beckham's not really relevant in crypto, but it's not really about him being so relevant. It's more of a legitimacy.
Yeah, putting his name, his brand.
It's massive. He's putting his
Into it, yeah.
reputation on the line, and that's massive for big institutional investors and for massive whales. When they see that, they obviously get a, they can see that it's the legitimacy of that and think, yeah, I'm happy to put my money into that. So
True.
it's a slower process.
Yeah. It is. It's a slow process. So moving forward, Wilder Worlds has successfully released their third series of the Wilder Kicks, wearable in-game shoes, essentially, that are self-crafted, all of them. These were basically only available to like really early Genesis holders, I think, of some assets. But this was just a pretty cool airdrop that they're doing along the road to releasing the game. I'm more excited for their motorcycles to be released soon, but we'll just have to wait for those.
Wilder Wolves did well, didn't they? Wilder Wolves.
Killing it. Well. Yeah, they're doing fantastic. I have mine. Yeah, my wolf is dope.
You called that a couple of 2 podcasts ago. You recommended, or 3 weeks ago, and it's done like a times 7, times 8, hasn't it? Since then,
I think so. Yeah, sitting around there for the floor.
And really well.
Great call by you there, Keegan. Yeah, good
stuff,
mate.
Grazie. So next on the list, we have Spin Top and the Unfettered making further progress in their partnership. They did a video AMA. So the Unfettered actually shows some gameplay and like they actually dive deeper into the game and the actual ecosystem. Cool. So if you want to learn more about the Unfettered and how the game actually, works, it's definitely a good watch. And Spin Top, I just like that they've actually been doing video AMAs. There's a whole bunch on their website, like for a bunch of different games.
I'll leave a link in the description.
Their Gamepedia is actually one of the best things I've ever used. It's so nice.
I just can't believe how undervalued it is right now.
Oh, it's brilliant. I mean, their product is probably one of the better in the Gamify space, just because you get so much data.
Yeah.
And I mean, I personally love it, but I just like
they don't stop. I'm like,
no, never.
It's crazy how undervalued Spin Top is right now. But I've seen it before where projects that are absolutely amazing have just stayed such low prices, then they take off out of nowhere. I think the market's causing.
That's fine because I'm just in liquidity and I'm just farming it. So like, let it crab. I don't care. Because I just get more. Sorry. So next on the list, DAO Maker have successfully launched FitFi in 1 week after launching on multiple exchanges, including crypto.com, went 130x in 1 week. So DAO Maker is once again showing that they're sorry.
Do you think Stepan's obviously affected that? That it started a trend, hasn't it? It started a trend, hasn't it?
Yeah.
There's loads of
the whole fucking narrative.
Yeah, it started a whole narrative. Yeah.
GMT started its own narrative. I mean, they hit over 2.5 billion this week, which is just
unbelievable,
insanity. They listed on Coinbase. So like,
and imagine they would have launched in an actually bullish market. This would be like fucking 50 billion market cap easily.
Don't say that.
Can you imagine? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it would have sent if the market was right. It would have sent so much harder than this.
100%, mate. 100%.
Yeah, this is what it's doing in a bear. Actually, it's not even a bear; it's a crab. But
have you seen how much people are making using these fitness apps? They're just going for like an hour run, and they're making like $150. I'm like, you can make a living off these things.
Easily,
I can't imagine.
And be fit as hell.
Imagine.
Like, it's a win-win. You make a living and you're fit as fuck. Like,
True.
What do you want? Seriously.
I was going to say that it was like the exact thing everybody wanted.
Yeah. Love it.
All right. So, so for the last piece of news, we have XCAD. They are releasing their plugin for YouTube and Twitter in Q2 of 2022. They just announced this. Their plugin will be available to 230 million people on release. That's a lot of people. Stepin, for example, they actually just made a direct comparison. It has 1 million downloads and it's sitting at
Wow.
over 2 billion. And XCAD will hit 230 million people instantaneously, and it's only at
Wow.
100 market cap. So just do that math yourself. Not giving personal advice, just do that math.
And
It's been also
Go from
doing really well recently. It's like one of my favorite projects right now.
One of my
Yeah.
favorite communities.
Yeah,
and we've
Vibes.
done.
looking good.
The public voted on what they wanted us to cover next at TGH, and they asked for us to cover basic research. And one of the points that we mentioned was that the community is the core, at the heart of a project. And I can't see many stronger communities than what XCAD have got over there. So it's very bullish, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah, their community is wild. The CEO is always available, but he's also working all the time onboarding new creators. Like, I mean, they have 230 million viewers combined amongst all creators. So it's not like they're sleeping. They are working really hard. They're getting big partnerships, doing the right
That's a fifth
steps.
of a billion.
I have high hopes for the project.
Yeah. These guys, these projects that we've mentioned tonight are really good projects. Like, I just want to reiterate that really to people, is that these are not just projects that are going to enter and then leave in a year. They're literally building huge ecosystems and
the goal is to build
note,
ecosystems here.
Digital Bits is building a massive ecosystem. Huge. But it takes time, doesn't it? I just wanted to sort of put that across. And right now, going back to the market, it's boring, it's slow, but that's investing, isn't it? That's investing. So stay patient. Stay patient. On that note, see you guys next week.
Perfect.
See you later.
Bye-bye.